It's official, Lorcana's 5th set is Shimmering Skies. Let's take a closer look together now. What's up Illumineers, it's Charlie and Mateus here, and we've got our first look at Lorcana's 5th set, Shimmering Skies. We're going to go through everything that was covered today, so let's get right to it.
Let's do it.
In Shimmering Skies, Illumineers and their Glimmers are holding a wild party at the Great Illuminary to celebrate the defeat of Ursula, Sea Witch Queen. The guest list includes plenty of familiar faces, as well as some new ones too. We've got Wreck-It Ralph, Vanellope, and all of her pixelated pals from Litwick's Arcade, as well as Zootopia's Gazelle. We also get to see some characters from Frozen 2, including Brunei, and new versions of Elsa, Anna and Olaf, fresh from their most recent adventures into the Enchanted Forest. But this night to remember gives way to a new mystery as part of the Great Illuminary begin to fall off, crashing down around the crowds. According to Ryan Miller, we'll have to wait to unravel this mystery, but Shimmering Skies is about letting loose and filling the realm with fun and revelry. Shimmering Skies will be arriving at hobby stores on August 9th, and then 2 weeks later at mass retail on August 23rd.
Should we look at some of the new products?
Let's do it.
Okay, so for starter decks, Shimmering Skies feature two brand new ones. One being an Emerald Steel, featuring a rare Scar and a super rare Krunk.
And the other is a Ruby Amethyst featuring a rare Wreck-It Ralph and a super rare Elsa. Can't wait to play those together.
Oh, I'm so excited.
We'll be receiving a new of this set featuring the regular 8 booster packs, as well as damage counters, a lore counter, and very happy for us, we're going to be receiving dividers with ink colors rather than rarities on them, so it's going to be a lot more usable this time.
And they are way prettier as well. Personally, I
Yes.
really like the art style of these new card dividers, for sure.
So that is great to have. Up next, we have 2 new playmats. As with the previous set, these are also featuring art from sets before set 5. So it's going to be Look at This Family, the song card from set 4, and Belle Accomplished Mystic, another card from set 4. We actually almost made this as
We
a
almost
playmat
did
ourselves.
it. I'm not surprised with that being featured
yeah.
here because it's being a very popular art. It's beautiful. I can't wait to get an official one from Lorcana.
It's going to be beautiful.
Yes.
And speaking of art, we also have sleeves. So the sleeves this time are going to be using art from Tiana, celebrating Princess from set 2, and Aladdin, Heroic Outlaw from set 1, as well as some plain Lorcana sleeves with gold inside. So for people who've been wanting something a little bit more neutral, a little bit more like the card backs themselves, these sleeves are coming. We'll have to see how the quality is. Can it stand up to a Dragon Shield sleeve?
We'll
Quite
definitely
yet.
be reviewing because we
Yes.
like getting those, so just stay tuned when set 5 comes out. So I'm very excited about this new other product that got announced. So those are what they call the portfolios. They're pretty much binders and they are 9 pocket pages. Is that
Pocket
correct?
pages, yes.
So they are doing 2 models this time. One it is with the normal branding of the cards, art style, as you can see on screen. And the second one, which I personally love, is featuring all, not all, but a bunch of Nicholas Cole art in the back and the front of the portfolio. Those are very gorgeous, and I'm very curious to compare with the original ones that came on set 1 with Maleficent and Stitch.
Yes.
They were very small in comparison. I think they were
very
not as
small.
functional.
Yeah, and you still see them when you go to Toys R Us, still for sale. So we'll see if these
Exactly.
ones fly off the shelves or if people are going to be sticking with their Voltex or their
I know.
Raytons that we.
I mean,
really
I
like.
think we're gonna have a little bit of
Yeah.
both for sure. But what is interesting here is because it's 9 pocket, it fits the Ursula puzzle piece from set 4. Is that the reason why they released this to just find their formation
I'm
of
sure.
puzzles?
I'm sure that was intentional.
But it's beautiful. I'm very looking forward to that for sure. So the next product in the lineup is something we got via the marketing site,
Yeah,
which
it wasn't announced during the LoreCast.
No, yeah, it was on the back. You could see on the back of the announcement, but not feature for everyone to see. But that makes sense because they talked about that before. That's a gateway. It's a kind of a starting product for
Yes,
new players,
yes.
right? It's almost like what you see in Pokemon, where they teach you via board game sort of things how to play the game. So we are also very excited about that. We will review the product, obviously, but it's more for new players as we would expect.
Yeah, and I expect we'll be using it to teach some of our friends to play,
100%.
the ones that haven't gone into Lorcana yet.
I'm just curious with how it plays with those rules. As you can see, the image, the 4 different rules, the little tokens with the characters. So it is kind of a board game in a way. But very exciting,
Yeah.
nevertheless. Yeah.
And with that said, let's jump over to the card reveals.
This is what you're probably being expecting, so let's do it.
Up first in Amber, we have Kristoff, Reindeer Keeper. He's a 9-cost, uninkable 3/7 who quests for 3, and he has the ability Song of the Herd. For each song card in your discard, you pay 1 less ink to play this character. And he also has the Bodyguard keyword, so he looks pretty beefy.
They're strong.
Yeah, I think in those Steel Song decks, which are going to be churning through songs like nobody's business, the cost of him is probably going to go down quite quickly.
And he reminds me of another card, which is...
Chernobog Evildoer?
Yes.
Yes, Chernobog Evildoer, who was obviously reduced the cost based on characters in the discard. This is the same kind of thing for songs. So in those Amber Steel Song decks, I can see definitely a place for Kristoff. I think this is a super fun card, even if it's not meta. Like it's one I definitely want to play with in some decks.
I'm very curious. I'm very curious with what it means, all those auras behind him in the background.
Yes, because Ryan Miller did say in the LoreCast that those are part of the lore of Lorcana.
Exactly.
I suspect we'll be finding out more information about those
Seems
soon.
to be every ink color somehow.
It does seem to that, yeah.
We'll find out more.
Yeah, there's no flavor text on this one to give us any hints.
No giving aways right now. Oh, I love it. I love it. Sorry, Vanellope.
The first of many new Wreck-It Ralph cards that got announced. I think everyone has been waiting for these ever since that Wreck-It Ralph action card was introduced. So here we go. Characters from Wreck-It Ralph, starting off with Vanellope von Schweetz, Sugar Rush Champ. She's a 1-cost inkable 2/2 vanilla that quests for 1. Not much to say about this one, other than we're very excited.
And also, actually, something was pointed out in our Instagram account. If you look up close to the number of the card, this is a number 6 out of 204, but she's Vanellope.
That is true, and Kristoff was number 13, so something funky is going on here.
It might just be simply an error, so let's not look into that too much. But again, you wouldn't expect a letter V to start at 6.
Yeah, especially when K already comes.
Exactly. So we'll see what does that mean. Hopefully, it's just an issue when they realize this card digitally.
Yeah. So let's update the tracker. Not many to update, but there you go. Two in the tracker. We're starting.
And obviously,
off slow.
We came back with the card tracker. I couldn't believe it's that fast. I always get surprised, but. We'll keep that updating our official website, so we have something new now. Check the address right here and also in the description. You can check those directly there, but also in our Instagram account, Facebook account, Discord account.
And we'll be updating it after every single reveal. We won't be waiting for videos like in the past.
Exactly.
So,
you can just check those portals that we mentioned. They'll be all there for you.
We're going to switch over to Amethyst now, and we have Elsa, the 5th Spirit. She's a 5-cost inkable 2/5 that quests for 1. She has quite a lot going for her. She has Rush, she has Evasive, and she has the ability Crystallize. When you play this character, exert chosen opposing character. So that means she can come in, exert a character, and then hit them with Rush right off the bat.
That is very strong. We've been often saying she is the 5th spirit? It sounds
spirit.
like the 12 Elsa, to be honest. But this one is very playable, I think, right?
I think
very,
it is.
very
The
playable.
2 strength means she's not going to be able to take out anything too big on her own, but she can take out those aggro threats, take out something like a Lilo.
Yes.
But if you buff her strength up somehow, maybe with a Merlin Crab or something like that, then she can really come in and she's basically combining all of the other Elsas, the exerting Elsas, the giving rush Elsas, all in a single card. I think very cool card. Very interesting card.
And it's a super rare as well.
And it's a super rare. Our next Amethyst card is Bruni, Fire Salamander. This, I think, as soon as we saw this film, we knew it was going to be merchandise.
It's just a merchandise type of
super
character.
Cute. He's a 4-cost inkable 2/2 that quests for 2. He has Evasive, and he has the ability Parting Gift. When this character is banished, you may draw a card. So a little bit like Cusco, but with better stats in terms of the login, in terms of the evasive. Obviously, he's going to get shot by steel right away, but
I'm curious. Sorry, but I am curious how playable he can be for being a cost 4.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact he gives you a card, he replaces himself. That's always nice.
It's evasive, right?
Yeah, maybe we'll see some other synergies. I think on his own, you're right. He's maybe a little bit underwhelming, but.
Still cute. Yeah. Still extremely cute.
A lot going for him. Of course, the 4-drop slot in Amethyst is very stacked with all of the Merlins in there with the Madrigal characters. So yeah, he might struggle to find a place, but I think, you know what, in sealed tournaments, in limited formats, I think
100%.
Great card. I think this is going to be one of the bombs. Yeah,
exactly. So let's look at all the 2 cards in Amethyst we have populating just there.
Here we go.
And let's go straight to Emerald.
Let's go to Emerald. So we're going to start off with Scar, Vengeful Lion. He's a 4-cost inkable 4/2 that quests for 1. He has Ward, and he has the ability Life's Not Fair, Is It? Whenever one of your characters challenges a damaged character, you may draw a card. So this is good. More card draw for Emerald. An ink color, that is struggled sometimes with card draw. So this gives you a little bit of card draw. Obviously, it's a passive ability, so you can have a character ready from the previous turn, play Scar, and then start drawing some cards off of him. So that's really cool.
But he's also ward.
He's also
so you
ward.
cannot target him in that way.
Yes, that is very true.
Yeah.
So the only thing from Steel really is going to be grab your swords.
Exactly.
He's going to be quite a way out from something like be prepared. So he
Yeah.
might hang around on the board. And
he has a status 4 of willpower,
yes,
which
so he
also
can't even
means
get
some of the
eaten.
removal
Yeah,
can't be done.
He can't even be eaten by Sisu.
It could be a good card. And also, just a good reminder, he comes into the starter deck.
He does come into... this is the starter deck
That's
one,
the
yeah.
starter decks.
And next we've got a 4-cost inkable action. This is You're Welcome. It's also a song. And you can shuffle chosen character, item, or location into their player's deck. That player draws 2 cards. So this is a very similar card to what we saw with Yzma Scary Beyond Reason. It's a little bit of removal for you. So if you need to use it to remove a big threat, like if your opponent has a Tamator or something with a really big willpower, then you can use this as a way to get rid of them at the expense of giving your opponent a couple of cards. But you can also use it on your own characters. You could happily get rid of a 1-cost character and draw 2 cards because of it.
That is true.
So I think a lot of utility. It's obviously it's a song. It's a 4-cost song. Plenty of 4-cost characters are going to be singing this one.
And obviously, it's not just with Yzma, it was only based on characters. This is characters, items, locations. So
yes, so
it's a good card overall, I think.
Like something like the Queen's Castle can cause a lot of trouble.
Exactly.
Just get rid of it. They're potentially gonna draw cards anyway, so this is gonna just.
That is true because it doesn't go back to your hand. It goes shuffle your deck. You might not even find that card anytime soon after that.
So I think this one is a super good one.
That is cool.
So we'll update the tracker again, just 2 cards, but we are going to be moving over into Ruby where there are a lot more. Ruby getting the lion's share of the reveals.
That is a lot of Ruby. I do want to say Charlie's going to present this beautiful Donald Duck on screen right now. This is going to be one of my favorite ones. If you don't know yet, Donald Duck is my favorite character at Disney, like ever. And I've been waiting for that enchanted card for so long.
This is it.
They're gonna be this one.
Yeah.
Last set I was so sad that Buccaneer didn't get it, but then actually, if I had to pick, I want this one because it's so cool, the art style.
This is
it's the playable card, I think.
Yeah, it is. So let's talk about it. So Donald Duck Pie Slinger is a 5-cost inkable 3/6 that costs for 1. He has a Floodbond, so he can shift in at 4, and he has 2 abilities. The first is Humble Pie. When you play this character, if you shift to play him, each opponent loses 2 lore, so a little bit more of that kind of Ruby archetype the shift condition, yes, but also removing lore from your opponent. There are quite a few cards that do that. And he also has the Raging Duck ability. While an opponent has 10 or more lore, this character gets +6 strength, so he becomes a 9/6. So I think this is obviously a card you're going to be playing maybe more toward the mid game. It has utility. You can slow your opponent down early on, but you can play him a little bit later on. He can come in and take out some massive threats that your opponent might be playing. I think this is the first effect I think we're seeing that modulates based on your opponent's lore.
I think so, isn't it?
Which is, I think, an interesting thing that's being introduced. He also has the Knight keyword, so we haven't really seen anything synergizing with Knight. But we obviously have Goofy Knight for a Day, I think, has the Knight keyword as well. So are we going to see some Knight synergy? That could be something fun this set.
That's very interesting. Yeah. What are the stats? Remind me. The Maleficent Dragon?
Maleficent Dragon?
Is he also...
She's a 7/5.
So this is stronger in a way. I know the Maleficent Dragon comes in already with that stats.
Yes.
But this is equivalent to 9/6.
Yeah, that's true.
Right, so it's also a stronger version.
And it's kind of, once your opponent gets to the 10 lore, unless you're playing more Donald Ducks or something to drain the lore, then he's going to have those stats.
Exactly.
So those
for
stats
a cheaper cost.
Those stats on a 5-cost character, pretty nutty. And yeah, early prediction for Enchanted, and for the Hidden Mickey fans out there, there's a Hidden Mickey here.
Oh, I didn't know. Where is it?
On his panel around
his
neck.
Of course.
So,
look at that in his chest.
There we go, Hidden Mickey. Love this card. I think this has very much the potential to be one of those crazy cards that just pops off in this set. Yeah. So super exciting. They're showing us that something this cool this early.
Yes.
And
I'm so excited for this.
Is this going to be your playmat this set?
Maybe. Yeah. They did release already the marketing material for the elongated one. So we shall see.
Okay.
You help us to vote with our membership section. If you are a tier 3,
yes,
you get to pick the next 2 for every month. Just pick this one for me because I really want this one.
So next up in Ruby, we have Wreck-It Ralph, Demolition Dude. He's a 3-cost inkable 1/4 that quests for 1, and he has the ability Refreshing Break. Whenever you ready this character, gain 1 lore for each 1 damage on him. So potentially, he could be basically when he's ready and gaining you 3 lore. There are many many actions, many things in the game that ready characters. We have obviously LeFou, which readies a character, so that's one way to do it. He's going to ready at the start of your turn. But then there are also things like Go the Distance, so you can ready a damaged character of yours. They can't quest, but you do draw a card, so that's some nice synergy there where you're going to be gaining lore, drawing a card. And there's also the on your feet now action, where you can ready all characters and deal damage to them. So again, that's going to be a way of readying him, putting the damage and then gaining the
But that's
lore.
interesting because I think the reading happens before for the on your feet, is it not? Would he still earn in that same turn?
He wouldn't earn it from that, but if he already had the damage on him,
Then he will.
Exactly.
And then obviously it's an additional damage for the next turn.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
I wish it was damage and then ready.
Yeah. But you could still ready him, and then he could do something. He could sing a song,
Exactly.
and then when he readies
That
on
is
your next
true.
turn, he's going to.
It's very interesting.
Yeah, I think this card could really pop off, and you could put him in something like Pride Lands, where you increase his willpower. He could take
So
even
then he
more
can take
damage.
more
Yeah,
damage.
I think Ryan Miller even mentioned like he's looking forward to seeing how people
Use
exploit
it.
this, because
Yes.
this ability is really
It is
cool.
Okay, so now we're jumping to a bunch of characters from Wreck and Rolf.
Yeah.
All the racers.
Yeah.
And I think they even have the racer category.
They
right?
do.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the first one. So we have Vanellope von Sweet's Random Roster Racer. It's a mouthful. She's a 4-cost uninkable 3/3 that quests for 2. She has Rust, and she has the ability Pixelexia. When you play this character, she gains evasive until the start of your next turn. So that means you can play her. She can hit something like
An invasive character,
that's it. Yeah, she could hit something like Diablo and survive and be evasive until the next turn.
Exactly.
So that's really cool. She can also take out, again, like I always use Lilo. Lilo is one of those aggro characters that are just always a little bit pesky. She can come in, hit it, and then she herself is safe from challenges from anything that's not evasive until the start of your next turn. Really cool. And as Matteo said, she does have the racer classification, which is something all of these racers from Wreck-It Ralph are going to have. So maybe we're going to see some synergy coming this set.
She's a princess, she's
a
a hero,
princess,
and
yeah,
she's a racer. So
yeah,
a lot going on for her.
A lot going on. Up next, we have Taffeta Muttonfoot. She's a 2-cost inkable 2/2 that quests for 2. She's a vanilla. She's a ruthless rival, and she also has the racer abilities. So I think we're going to see something. I think there's going to be like a ready all races. Or,
there's going to be a location, literally, right?
Yeah.
The whole arcade area, maybe.
Oh, that's true, yeah.
Yeah. And we do get 3 Taffetas announced in this one.
Was it 3 Taffetas?
There's 3.
3
We have more to
Taffetas,
look
wow.
at.
So
that's the vanilla one.
That's the vanilla Taffeta. Let's look at the next one.
There you go.
We have the sour Taffeta. This is Taffeta Muttonfoot Sour Speedster. She's a 4-cost inkable 3/3 that quests for 1. She's a Floodborn, so you can shift her in at 2. And she has the ability New Roster. Once per turn, when this character moves to a location, gain 2
There
lore.
you go, location.
There we go. So are we going to be seeing a location from Wreck-It Ralph? I can't remember the name of the racetrack.
We should have done our research. I forgot as well. But
It's been a long time since we watched Wreck-It Ralph.
Yes.
But it's really cool to see those characters. Locations, they're not huge in the meta right now. There are other characters that have similar abilities that don't see much play, but with all of the racer synergy, could really pop off. And we're definitely going to be making a Wreck-It Ralph deck. In set 5.
Well,
so
the starter deck is Wreck-It Ralph.
the starter deck is Wreck-It Ralph, but I'm sure we'll do a themed one
Oh,
as
yeah,
well.
100%. Yeah,
So
can't wait.
it'll be great to see how this all goes together.
Turbo!
Okay, so next we have Turbo Royal Hack. He's a 2-cost uninkable 2/3 that quests for 1. He also has Rush, so we're seeing a lot of Rush abilities on these races. And I think this is quite interesting. He has the ability Game Jump. This character also counts as being named King Candy for Shift.
So we're getting King Candy.
What does that mean?
Of
What
course.
does that mean? So so we're definitely going to be seeing a Floodborn King Candy coming in. And I think actually for the stat line he has, a 2/3 with Rush is pretty good on turn 2. He is an inkable, but I think actually, this is the perfect shift target for that King Candy when he does eventually arrive in Lorcana. So up next we have Rancis Flugger Butter, a chocolate charger. He's a 4-cost inkable 4/4 that quests for 1 vanilla. They're really making these names difficult to say in one take, but there you go. Really good stats on a 4-cost, I think. But
I'm just gonna say, I can imagine you would look like that when you had hair and you were little. It looks like baby Charlie.
Okay.
Also butter.
There you go. That's all we have to say about this. Okay, and here we go.
Another
Like
one.
Matthias said, the third Taffeta Mutton Fudge card, this time crowd favorite. She's a 1-cost inkable 1/2 that costs for 1, and she has the ability Showstopper. When you play this character, if you have a location in play, each opponent loses 1 law. So she doesn't even need to go to the location, nothing like that. It's simply drain 1 law from your opponent.
As long as you have a location.
As long as you have a location.
Yes.
At a 1-cost, I think that could be quite a fun little
good.
ability that you could use a few times during a game. I think
Did she finish in second place, or is she talking to the second place based on the narrative there?
Oh, I didn't even read
That's
it.
the question. Never lose sight of where you're going. Second place.
Well, she is the champion, right? She's the one that does really well in Wreck-It Ralph
Until
Vanellope comes back from being banished, right? She was kicked out of the.
We don't remember.
Oh my goodness!
Just tell us in the comment because we might be saying things that doesn't make any sense.
Okay, so next one we have
Snowana.
Thank you, Snowana Rainbow, a cool competitor. She is a 3-cost uninkable 2/4 that costs for 1 with Rush. There you go, another Rush racer, another Rush in the uninkable 3-drop slot. She has a little bit better stats than Rafiki. I think Rafiki's a 3/3 in this slot.
But is Rafiki inkable though?
No, exactly. Yeah,
no, that's true.
Yeah,
okay.
So she does a little bit less damage, but she's going to stick around a little bit longer. So
okay,
yeah, interesting. So let's update the tracker, get all of those races in there.
Ruby starting ahead of everyone else in the tracker. There's always a caller that does that. Very excess.
And this time it is Ruby.
But it makes sense. It's all about Wreck-It Ralph. Yes.
So we're going to hop on over to Sapphire. So we're going to start off with Merlin, Intellectual Visionary. This one wasn't shown on the LoreCast, in case you're wondering. It was actually something that was on the marketing materials.
Yes.
So not announced formally, but it is available
Legendary.
publicly. Yes, and he is the first legendary in Sapphire. He's a 6-cost uninkable 3/7 that quests for 2. He has a shift 5, so you can shift him on all of the other Merlins. There are plenty of Merlins in the game right now that you can shift him on. And he has the ability Overdeveloped Brain. When you play this character, if you use shift to play him, you may search your deck for any card, put that card into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So we've said oftentimes, we're not trading card game players, this is our first TCG, but as soon as this card was announced, we had friends who play Magic texting us saying, finally there's a tutor effect in Lorcana. I believe tutor is an ability in Magic that lets you search your deck for any card, so this is super cool. Very, very interesting. Obviously, we saw something similar on a more limited scale with Alma Madrigal, letting you search for a Madrigal character. Here we're seeing a character that can search for literally anything. Right now, it seems like the natural pairing is going to be with Amethyst because there are so many Merlin cards.
But that's it. Let's not forget, the goat is Merlin.
The
crab
goat,
is
the crab,
Merlin.
the rabbit.
The rabbit is Merlin.
So
all those are Merlin.
So you do end up sacrificing those abilities from the bouncing, but this is a pretty good ability. I think the fact that it's on a shift makes it a little bit harder to set up, which I think is needed for something that's kind of as powerful as this. But yeah, the fact he's an inkable again, it makes sense. You don't want to be able to have too many of these just because it's such a powerful ability. But I do think it's kind of, we said when we looked at Alma from the previous set, she was cracking the door open for this type of ability, and now
they pushed all the way.
Now they pushed it all the way.
Can I just acknowledge the art as well? Because you see in the trailer, of the announcement trailer, this Merlin, and he's visualizing some changes via his crystal in the hat.
Okay.
So it's cool with that same reference that they're doing here. Obviously, they have to make the reference, right? But watch the trailer up close. Look for the moment because the animation is amazing for the power.
That's really cool. And I was just trying to see which part of it was popping out of the frame. So it's just his cloak on the bottom there popping out of the frame, which is what all legendary cards have done since the previous set. I know the previous two sets.
Previous two sets.
So we love that little detail, but super cool card. Very interesting. I think maybe we'll see some Blurple decks, some Amethyst, Sapphire decks really utilizing this. So up next we have Prince John Goldlover. He's a 4-cost inkable 3/4 that quests for 1, and he has the ability Beautiful Lovely Taxes. Exert this character, play an item from your hand or discard with cost 5 or less for free, exerted. So that is a very fun ability. It's always nice when you can kind of cheat ink, getting something out for a bit cheaper. So that is that. There was also
of trivia.
Yeah, go on. You do the trivia.
So there's a few bits of trivia here actually. So the first one, There's a promo version for the same card as we'll show on the screen right now, following the art style of the board game Villainous, which is also from Ravensburger. So to actually acquire the card, the promo version, you need to get the game, as far as being announced so far.
Yes, so it's going to be Villainous Introduction to Evil, I believe they said it was going to be called. It's coming out on August 1st.
And what is cool as well is the promo version of that got leaked.
Quite a while ago.
Quite a while ago. So we knew already from the set 5. Obviously, we never post leaked materials here, but it got leaked. And another cool stuff that I just realized is if you read the description of the lore, he uses the term villainous as well. So there is like a little bit of relation there. But yes, it's nice. If you want that, go grab the board game, which is also a very good board game.
Yeah. But I think the art's super cool. It's one from Coney. In the original card, on the promo version, they mentioned on the LoreCast, this is actually based on the art of Villainous, so they have their own art style, and they've applied that to this version of Prince John. Cool ability, really cool card. I mean, maybe we're going to be buying that version of Villainous.
So when does the product comes out?
August 1st. August 1st is, I think, what they said. So we'll be definitely grabbing that. We still haven't played Villainous. We actually have it on the shelf behind us. And we still haven't gotten.
Well, we heard that it's really, really good. So we need to give it a go. And now definitely getting the expansion for
absolutely.
Sure. Anything for a card.
So the last card in Sapphire, we have the Greater Luminary Radiant Ballroom. This is a 3-cost inkable location. It has a willpower of 9, a move cost of 2, and the ability Warm Welcome. Characters with support get +1 lore and +2 willpower while here. Support has been one of those abilities. It's been a little bit neglected. I think it hasn't been really utilized to the kind of the fullest of its potential. So here we go. So we're starting to see some cards which are really paying off that support keyword. I think that's really cool, and it's interesting because it's going to synergize well with something like Alice Growing Girl, who every other character gains support. So you can have her in play.
That is a good point.
All of those characters are now going to be questing, for more lore, and then she herself can quest for more lore.
So I'm going to approach the camera very closely. There's 2 characters there. Is it Martin and someone else, or are those actually Disney characters? I can't tell for sure.
It does look like Martin, yeah.
It does look like Martin. We were hoping to see Martin screwing up again. It doesn't seem he did yet. He did play in the show, in the intro, so that's quite cool.
And yeah, of course, the Greater Luminary, it's another piece of lore from Lorcana. This isn't a Disney location, but there you go. Some more support for support.
Yes.
And we'll update the tracker now with the 3 cards.
Yes.
You go do your little dance thing, right? There we go.
There isn't many. I can't dance enough. It's literally 2 cards, but yes.
And then we're going to jump over to Steels. The last 2 cards. This is Kronk, Head of Security, a 7-cost uninkable 6/6 that quests for 1. He is a Floodborn, so you can shift him in at 5, and he has the ability, are you on the list? During your turn, whenever this character banishes another character in a challenge, you may play a character with 5 cost or less for free. So this is obviously the bouncer from the party that's happening to celebrate this set.
Yes. And
yeah, it's a really cool ability. Anything that cheats the cost of characters lets you play things cheaper. Really, really cool. And I think it's nice that it's based on challenging, so you can get rid of a character and then play another character.
And he's very strong, so he can take on the challenge. Obviously, he's uninkable. And 7.
Yeah.
But hopefully we'll have a good payoff. And he's a captain. He has a classification captain.
Oh, he does have the captain.
Which is interesting as well. It means that he could play with Mr. Smee without getting damaged.
That is really a good point.
And he comes on the starter deck, if you're wondering, a super rare from the starter deck. I love this card. I love Kronk.
Yeah, and I think that the fact it's a 5-cost character, there are so many 5-cost characters that you
I am a little bit scared.
In a Steel Ruby deck, you could play Maui for free.
Yeah.
Take out 2 different characters in the same turn. Okay, so the last card now that was revealed today, this is Badanon, Villain Support Center. This is a 3-cost inkable location, 7 willpower, move cost of 2, and it has the ability, there's no one I'd rather be than me. Villain characters get Exert, pay 3, play a character with the same name as this character for free while here. And I should say this location also gives 1 lore passively, which we like to see. We like to see the locations that have an effect and they give lore, because at least they're serving a dual purpose. But what does this mean? Because it is a little bit tricky to decipher, but it just means that if you have a cheap Hades here, you can exert Hades, and then you can use that to play a big Hades. Almost like a shift, but just paying a 3.
So you're exerting the spawner in this case. So
you're
if
exerting
I have
the character
Hades,
in the
I'll
location.
exert that one, I'll pay a 3 cost.
In order to play a Hades. Yeah.
And it has to be Y inside the location. Then you can play another character with the same name for free, not on top of the character.
Not on top, exactly.
So it's end up with 2. Obviously, you're playing the character for free out of the location. not inside the location.
Yep.
So it's a good thing, something to be aware, because then if you want to do the same thing again, you need to pay the cost of two to move inside the location.
Absolutely.
Right.
So it does require a little bit of setup, but because it has that passive lore, you're going to be getting some benefit from it.
It's inkable, it's free, it's not an expensive location.
And it's synergized with the villains,
willpower.
which is something we've wanted to see for a while. We do have lots of villains in the game. Only a few payoffs for that villain classification, so there we go.
And an amazing call out to the moment in the movie, because that's hilarious having the Venom. And this is amazing. I'm very excited for this new set.
I'm very excited for this new set. So let's update the tracker. There we go. That's the two steel cards. And thank you so much for sticking with us for this review. Hopefully you enjoyed seeing these new cards and the new product as much as we did.
Stay tuned for our pre-order guide. We're going to be launching very soon, maybe tomorrow or the day after, just so you have all the information with the cost, with the products, including Gateway, which wasn't said much yet. We'll try to get the cost for you. I don't know if I will be able to. But apart from that, just another big shout to the members. We have a couple of members already for our channel. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you mean everything to us, to the growth for the channel, and for everyone else as well. Thanks for sticking around. We're just very happy to be able to do those comments.
And if you are interested in being a member, you can just click the join button to see the details of what is available. We made a video about it, but as we said, one of the big things for us is making sure that it makes sense for you. We don't want to just ask you to give us money and for us just to take it and go. We want to give you perks back in return. And it's there just to help us improve the quality of the channel. We want to always be getting better, always making the production quality
better, products
better. And so if you do want to support us, hit the join button. We'd love to have you. And
no pressure though.
No
That's
pressure,
very important as well.
Yeah.
If any of you can't or don't want, it doesn't matter. We're, as we said, it's just a two-way street, and we will give you all the best content either way. So thank you so much for that.
Let us know down below favorite cards. I think for me, Merlin definitely a standout. Merlin and Donald, the two legendary cards.
For me it's Donald
amazing.
for sure. Maybe because it's Donald, but apart from that, I just love everything Wreck-It Ralph, so I'm just very happy about it.
And it's now an excuse for us to go and watch Wreck-It Ralph, so we remember what happened.
Let's do this now. So see you later, you all. Thank you so much.
See you later. Happy
questing.
questing.
Bye.